You don't remember the impact. You remember the moment before it. The engines cutting out. The unnatural silence that spreads through the cabin. And the captain's voice, tight and controlled, saying one word: brace. Then everything breaks. The plane drops, not turbulence, not a dip, but a straight, violent fall. Oxygen masks snap down. People scream. Overhead bins burst open and luggage flies across the cabin. Someone grabs your arm. Someone else is praying out loud. You don't think. You just react. Head down, hands locked behind your neck, body braced. The impact hits like an explosion. Metal folds. Seats tear loose. The entire world flips. Noise becomes everything. Then suddenly, nothing. When you wake up, the silence feels wrong. Planes are never this quiet. You try to move and pain floods in. Your shoulder, your ribs, your head. You realize you're hanging upside down, still strapped into your seat. For a few seconds, you just breathe. Then it hits you. You're alive. You fumble with the buckle, drop hard onto what used to be the ceiling, and start crawling. Every movement hurts, but you keep going until you reach an opening in the wreckage. When you pull yourself outside, you finally see what happened. The plane isn't a plane anymore. It's scattered debris burning across a dense forest. Smoke rises into the sky. Pieces of fuselage are torn apart. Seats are scattered everywhere, and there's no sign of civilization, just trees in every direction. Then you hear voices. Not many, but enough. You follow them and find survivors. Around 20 people. Some bleeding, some in shock, some barely conscious, but alive. For a moment, it feels like that's enough. Like surviving the crash was the hardest part. It isn't. The first day feels almost organized. People check injuries, gather supplies, search for water bottles and food trays. Someone tries to take control, counting everyone, assigning tasks. People talk about rescue like it's guaranteed. Planes don't just disappear. Someone will come. That night, nobody sleeps. Every sound feels like it could be a helicopter. Every second feels like you're about to be saved. Morning comes. Nothing. By the second day, the mood shifts. Phones don't work. No signal. No landmarks. No signs of anything beyond the forest. The realization spreads slowly, but hits hard. You are completely cut off. Arguments start. Some people want to stay near the wreckage. Others insist on leaving immediately to find help. You decide to stay. The crash site is the only visible marker. If anyone is searching, this is where they'll look. 2 people leave anyway. They say they'll come back with help. You watch them disappear into the trees. You never see them again. By the 3rd day, hunger starts to take over. Not mild hunger, real hunger that changes how people think. Food becomes the center of everything. You start noticing who eats more, who hides things, who watches others. Water becomes more important than anything. You begin searching low ground, collecting rain, following instincts you didn't know you had. You adapt quickly because you have no choice. That night, one man doesn't wake up. There's no drama, no warning. He just dies. And that's when everything changes. The situation stops feeling temporary. You bury him the next morning. Not because you want to, but because you understand now, this can happen to anyone. By the 4th day, the group starts to fracture. Trust fades. People hide supplies. Conversations turn into arguments. Survival becomes individual, even when you're still together. You notice something important. It's not the strongest people who are holding it together. It's the calm ones, the ones who don't panic. You stop thinking like a passenger. You start thinking ahead. Shelter, water, energy. You build something basic from debris and branches. It's not much, but it's enough to keep you alive another night. More people leave over the next days. Some quietly, without saying anything. None of them return. By the end of the first week, there are 9 of you left. The forest starts to feel different. Or maybe you do. You hear things more clearly. Water sources, animal movement, wind patterns. You're paying attention in a way you never have before. You talk less. Talking wastes energy. Days blur together. Time stops mattering. Survival becomes routine. Find water, conserve energy, stay warm, stay aware. Around the second week, infection takes someone. A small injury that didn't seem serious becomes fatal. That's when you fully understand something critical. It's not the crash that kills people. It's everything that comes after. The rules become clear in your mind. Don't panic. Don't waste energy. Don't rely on hope. The group shrinks again. 4 people left. No one says it out loud, but everyone knows what's happening. You're not waiting to be rescued anymore. You're trying to stay alive. Eventually, even that group falls apart. People disappear. One leaves in the night. Another collapses and doesn't recover. Then one morning, you wake up and it's completely quiet. You call out. No answer. You search nearby. Nothing. That's when it hits you fully. You're alone. Not temporarily. Not for now. Completely alone. This is the point where most people give up. Not because they can't survive physically, but because mentally something breaks. You don't let it. Something inside you changes instead. You stop thinking about rescue entirely. You stop hoping. You start operating. You move carefully, conserving every bit of energy. You plan before you act. You notice everything. You become efficient in a way you never needed to be before. You're no longer reacting. You're adapting. Days pass. You don't count them anymore. Then one day, you hear something different. Not wind, not animals, a machine. You freeze and listen. A helicopter. Your heart races instantly. You run toward the sound, pushing harder than you should, burning energy you can't afford to lose. You reach an opening, wave your arms, scream with everything you have. The helicopter passes overhead. It doesn't stop. It doesn't even slow down. You stand there, watching it disappear. You take a breath, turn around, and walk back into the forest. Because now you understand something final. No one is coming to save you. If you get out, it's because you found the way, not because someone found you. More time passes. You keep moving, keep surviving, keep adapting. Then one day, you see something that doesn't belong. A straight line, not natural. You move closer slowly, almost afraid it will disappear. It's a road, real, cracked, overgrown, but a road. You step onto it carefully, like it might not be real. Then you start walking. Hours pass. Then you hear an engine. A truck appears in the distance. It slows down as it approaches you, stops completely. The driver just stares. You must look unrecognizable, thin, dirty, something closer to an animal than a person. He asks you what happened. You try to answer, but nothing comes out at first, because there are no words for what you've been through. Finally, you manage to say the only thing that matters. I'm the only one left. And in that moment, it's not a tragedy. It's the only victory that counts.